everyone, welcome back again. My name is Alyza Putri Darwis. I'm from Mercubuana University, majoring in psychology. In today's presentation, I'm going to talk about self-talk as a key to overcoming study stress. But before we get into the definition of self-talk, first that we have to know is why do we have to overcome stress and what are the effects for us? Now, let's take a look at this. It turns out that there are several reasons why study stress must be overcome. First of all, study stress affects productivity. Well, this is really true. As we all know, when we're studying, especially for a long time, we often get tired and stressed, which leads us to feel dizzy, pressure, and overthink. So, instead of being focused on studying, we were actually distracted by negative thoughts. We end up doing nothing and unconsciously wasting our time. That is a big no-no, right? Because instead of thinking about things that will not necessarily happen, we should maximize our time for studying. In this case, we usually start to feel worthless and feel inferior. For example, I have a presentation tomorrow, but at the same time, I have so much to do, and it makes me stressed. Instead of directly overcoming it, I edit it with overthinking, and I'll be like, oh my god, I have so much to do. I don't think I can do this. I'm really sure I will fail tomorrow. You shouldn't think like that. You know, what you say is what you got. So, don't you ever fill yourself with negative thoughts if you don't want to fail or get something that you don't want to. Remember, okay? Next is stress can also trigger various kinds of disease. If you search on internet article or the other sources, you will find a lot of disease that causes by stress. Start from hair loss, heart disease, obesity, Alzheimer, and depression. So, if you don't want to experience all of those, make sure to avoid stress. Okay, now let's move on to the definition of stress. According to Lazarus and Folkman in 1984, stress is a particular relationship between the person and the environment that is appraised by the person as taxing or exceeding our resources and endangering our well-being. Or in short, stress is a condition when there is an imbalance in the needs and abilities within the individual. Let's take an example from the previous one. I have lots of assignments today, but tomorrow I have to do a presentation, which means what I need is good grades, right? And my ability to manage and solve problems. But unfortunately, I feel unable to overcome the existing problems or I feel inferior, which makes me stressed. But don't worry everyone, basically stress is a normal part of life. To get used to it, we have to overcome it effectively. But how? In psychology, there are two types to overcome stress. There are problem-focused coping and emotional-focused coping. Problem-focused coping is one of the copings that focus on changing the situation. So, if you have lots of tasks or assignments, the solution is just doing it one by one or doing the easier first. But emotional focused coping is the opposite. This coping doesn't change the situation but change its emotions. which we will discuss in today's presentation. For your information, there are many ways to do in emotional focus copy, such as meditation, sports, watching movies, fangirling, and others. If you feel not enough or do not feel better by doing some of these ways, you can try to do self-talk. What is that? Everybody, finally we arrived at the core topic. Self-talk basically is conversations in our mind that use inner voice and or say it out loud. This kind of activity affects our subconscious, which will later form suggestions to do something. So, obviously, we need to use positive self-talk that contains positive affirmations rather than negative self-talk that contains or includes negative thoughts. And as you can see in this slide, there are examples of positive self-talk sentences, such as, I am proud of myself and I deserve to be happy. Or, today I will walk through my fears. It's okay not to be okay, or it's okay to not to know everything. And the last but not least, everything I'm looking for is already inside. Wow, such a beautiful phrase, right? And right now, I would like to show you some tips to improve your self-talk. First one, be grateful. As you know, gratitude should be easy and simple. But unfortunately, most of us have a hard time being grateful, right? In fact, there's nothing wrong with being grateful though. We can be grateful for things that makes us happy or even makes us sad. With gratitude, we can avoid and ignore negative thoughts, which can make it easier for us to love ourselves. The second one is don't overthink. Do not overthink. Oops, this must be very familiar for us, right? In fact, some of us might be used to overthinking every time we go to sleep. Am I right? Am I wrong? But sorry to say, guys, that's really bad. Well, we know that it's natural for us to be anxious or worried about decisions or other things. But still, better to not drag it too far because I'm afraid you won't focus on what's happening now. And it will make you feel less confident and even more stressed. So, don't overthink. Third is focus on yourself and do your best. This is related to the previous one. If your mind is already filled with negative thoughts, try to focus on doing your best and just try your best. For example, you are afraid of failing during a presentation. Try to get rid of negative thoughts. Just do your best and let God do the rest. Because if you do your best, it will automatically affect your mind too, and certainly can encourage you to be more enthusiastic about doing something. Last but not least is look for silver linings. All of you have to know that every challenge can be turned into an opportunity. Whenever things don't go your way, look for the gifts that are hidden in such events. Learning to find a silver lining in every cloud will help you become more proactive. And if you look for opportunities in every challenge, you will develop confidence along with the inner strength. Amazing, right? I think that's it for the tips to improve self-talk. To sum up, self-talk is an active subconscious activity that can encourage us to do something optimally. Therefore, we can use self-talk as a solution to overcome the stress that occurs when we study. Alright, before I end this presentation, let me read some quotes from some well-known figures. David James once said, Be mindful of your self-talk. It's conversation with the universe. Uh, and this one, John Asaraf once also said that be very careful what you say to yourself because someone very important is listening, which is you. Okay, guys, I think this is the end of the presentation. I hope you all can fully understand the importance of overcoming study stress and applying self-talk as a way to deal with study stress in daily life. Thank you so much for your attention and see you later.